How's it going, boys? My name's Gary, and welcome back to That Killer Gary. Today, I have a special episode of Inboxed because I'm featured by a lovely special guest, CollinMeCrazy.
How's it going? Hello.
Heck yeah, give him a round of applause.
Dude, round of applause. Let's see if this picks up. Probably not. I
Yeah, no,
clapped.
it was just complete silence. I don't
Nice.
even I clapped too. I don't know if mine picked up.
I didn't hear it either. I didn't hear it either.
Anyways, today, like I said, I have a special episode of Inbox. Today, we're gonna answer a question that Colin actually sent me months ago that I totally meant to answer months ago. I totally have an excuse for not answering it. I got busy. So yeah. But hey, now I have the opportunity to answer it, and I have the man who asked the question himself here. So let's just jump
Double
in.
do.
Let's just jump straight into it. Howdy, Gary. I wanted to ask a question for your inbox. What's the way that you want to win? Tongue twister, geez. What's the way that you want to live your life? I always get curious about how people go about their day to day and what kind of goals they have. Sincerely, calling me crazy. Now, before we answer this, I'll be honest, I tried answering this question on my own for a separate video, or I guess just a regular inbox video, and I'll be honest, it's a pretty hard question to answer. So,
Yeah, it's a bit of a tongue twister and also a mind full of something to think about.
mhm, it's something you have to think about for a good while. So yeah, I thought might as how about we both answer it since you sent in the question. I bet you have a good answer as well, right? Totally, because it's such an easy answer. It's such an easy question to
Such an
answer.
easy one. I've been thinking about it all day.
Yeah, you totally didn't just read it 5 minutes ago.
Um, it's so true. I guess like I could give a synopsis of my answer. I guess the way I would like to live my life. Recently, I talked about knowing my purpose. I had a recent video where I was talking about I want to be creative throughout my life. I like doing creative things. I consider myself an artist in many different aspects, whether it's something like computer programming, which I got a degree in, and then actual art that I do drawing. I've done drawing on paper, I've done painting, all sorts of like artistic stuff, and then just your day to day. I have a job where I teach kids, and it's kind of we do a lot of art things in that in those classes that I teach, which is really fun. So I like to live my life at least as carefree as I can, not stress about too much of everything that's going on, like financial, money, maybe I guess relationships, try to focus more on myself and what I can do and control. For like the longest time, I've always like kind of gone with the flow of things, and I kind of still go that way. I kind of consider myself like a beach bum because I live at the beach, and that's just like my mind is so like clear whenever I'm just boogie boarding through the waves at the beach, and it's the way like I love to have my mindset is clear, crystal, and just knowing like what I'm doing is something that's important to me, but also like it's carefree, so I don't have to worry about it as much. Like it's not stressful or anything, which isn't always possible. Of course, you're gonna have stressful moments in your life, but that's kind of the way I like to live my life and hopefully continue that throughout my years.
Heck yeah, man. So funnily enough, I have a very similar answer to what you just said. Almost word for word. I'm kind of the same. I try to go through life just going with the flow. Try to let everything unfold as it happens. I don't really. I guess the best way I could put that, a good example would be usually I go most days without planning stuff. Like I like to keep my schedule open the whole day, just to see what happens. It's easier to do that than like stress about planning something or I have to do this thing or something like that. I try to live pretty stress free for the most part, so I'm very similar like that.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Hmm.
I do. I would say like I do plan for things like throughout my weeks. I've been recently doing a sticky note for like different like important things to do through my day, just to be like, all right, let's check some stuff off. But I do mostly like to keep my schedule open in that way. But it is just nice to because like I will push things off for the longest time. I still procrastinate,
Oh yeah, I'm the
and
exact same. That's why I don't like planning stuff.
everybody does it.
Because
Yeah, I think it just
if I
yeah.
set a specific date and it's something that I really don't want to do, it's not
Mm.
gonna get done at all. That's why I struggle
I
with
feel like
school so much.
if I give myself enough time, I can do it. But I will push it off, especially when I don't have like a due date or anything. It's like I'll just push it off for way too long. But I do like to have my schedule fairly open, and I feel like I can do that. I'm very flexible with my two jobs. If y'all don't know that, don't watch me. I have my delivery job at Domino's, so I get to pick my own hours there. and then I do after school program. We do coding, and it's only after school, so we only do it for like an hour a day. So it's not very much time, that's taken out of my day. So I do have a lot of free time at the moment, which is very nice. So most of my schedules are pretty open, besides, here making YouTube videos.
Yeah, of course, which is very time consuming, especially with the very complicated format that we try to stick to. Commentaries are very, very work heavy and take so much time to do. I mean, crap, man, having to go in and like record gameplay and then record audio and then cut it up, it takes so long.
Oh, it's so
That's why
stressful,
my
dude.
video
Yeah.
gaps are so large. Definitely not because of encouragement or time. It's just it or well, like lack of free time. It's just so time consuming.
I understand. It can be for sure. I mean, like I've been doing these let's play gameplays for BioShock Infinite,
Ooh, less
and
plays, yeah.
I'll like sit down for what 3 hours maybe, record like 2 to 3 episodes, and I'm gassed after that. So I leave that footage on my
Hmm.
computer, come back to it maybe a couple days later, and begin to like cut it up just a little bit, just take out like some dull moments, where nothing's really happening, or like I get stuck on like a puzzle or something like that happened last time. And
Yep,
it,
all
it
good.
does take a while. Like I like being thorough when it comes to creating stuff like that. Um, I go through it once, just raw, then I cut it up. I go through it again, make sure like my edits are good. There's kind of like a common problem with editing. It's like when you over edit too much and you're just doing too much where no one's really gonna notice. No one really cares at the end of the day as long as the video comes out and is coherent, I guess.
All right, hey guys, want to step in real quick just to give some context. At this point, I got interrupted because my timing is amazing. Yeah, my sister walked in and told me she was leaving, and we conversated for too long. I think even some of it got picked up on the actual video for a second. It's kind of hard to notice. That's why I didn't cut it out. But yeah, I got cut off. I got interrupted. Yada yada. Just wanted to give some context.
Oh,
Awesome. I
okay.
didn't. I didn't get most of that, and I think I did not mute my mic fast enough.
That's okay. Did you pause it?
No.
Okay, well you just cut it out. It's fine.
I know. I can just cut it out. I mean, I got
The
most
power
of
of
it.
editing.
The power of editing. I got most of it. There was some of it though where I definitely would have to cut out.
That's okay.
That's my bad. I kind of figured timing. Mine's always
It's
been
okay.
terrible.
I don't even know what I was talking about. Something about editing.
I already, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we were talking about editing. That's right, and how complicated it is,
Super
and how, yeah,
complicated.
no, you were talking about how doing the let's play videos can just completely
You could
destroy
eat
your
up
free
your
time.
yeah.
Like, yeah,
Because like they're so long, it eats up my hours. So
I
next thing
know.
I know, I'm trying to render it, and it's like rendering takes a long time too, depending like how high quality your videos are. And I like to keep mine pretty high, so
At least you don't have to do anything for it. You just click a button and let it go.
yeah,
But
you just let it go. Yeah.
the editing can be so time consuming, especially since it's boring. Just sitting there and constantly cutting stuff up, like, ah, man. And it's not like we're even doing the complicated stuff. I've done complicated editing before. It's a nightmare. It's one of the biggest deterrents for making videos for me is simply editing.
hmm
Because on the surface, it sounds so fun. You get to take your own video and then like make it whatever you want. But then you get to actually doing it, and it's just like, okay, is this just like, is this editing or is this a customized version of hell that's specifically created for me?
Yeah, you can't
It's
get too
just,
lost in the sauce, otherwise
yeah,
you were stuck there. You were
you know,
stuck in the sauce.
I've done high effort, like over the top editing before, and I don't like doing it.
I've done it for a couple of videos on my channel. I think it feels good when you finish it and it's like
Hmm.
finally done. You're like, oh, I don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah, it's
And then
super
coming back to it,
fulfilling,
it's
but
like, yeah, it's fulfilling, but it definitely to do that like all the time, every day, would not be
yeah.
fun. I think for me at least, and you.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. But hey, at least it's not subtitling. Subtitling's the worst. I'm gonna be
Oh,
honest. I hate
that was tough. I
subtitling.
did that one time. I did
Yeah,
it
no,
one
I've
time.
I've done it before too, and it's like it's such a simple thing, at least
hmm
when you go into post, but then it's like, oh my god, I have to like stop the video and then like, especially if you're doing the subtitles where it's like it pops up on the screen as they say the
As you're
word,
saying it.
you have to
Yep.
do so like animated
That's what I
subtitles.
did.
Oh my
Yep, that's
god.
what I did.
That
That is rough.
that easily takes like the editing or the amount of effort and time required and doubles it just
Yeah, I was
because
gonna
of
say it
subtitles.
literally just doubles the
Hmm.
time it takes.
So yeah, but yeah, what were we talking about? How we want to live our lives?
Exactly. Well, I think well, it sounded pretty similar then.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah, no,
going
we're
with the flow.
Yeah,
You
try
know,
to
not
live
really
stress free.
planning too much. Yeah, stress free for sure.
Hmm.
But yeah, living stress free. Even though I have like, I've talked about it a couple times, and I even made a video on it. I have like my insane student loan debt that's floating above my head all the time. But I feel like I've taken it really in a positive stride because, well, one, it builds my credit. I mean, I've barely even started paying. My credit has already like skyrocketed, which has been great. And then it builds, I guess, like a routine for me. The interest rates aren't that bad, like compared to like a car payment, which I just watched a video about car payments. You should never do car payments. If you can pay the car all the way, do that. Or just buy a cheap car. Like I've lived off of cheap cars, they're not that bad. If you can handle like not having like your heated seats or your crazy GPS systems or your giant tablet in your car, then yeah, get like a 2009 like Hyundai Sonata, like I have.
Yeah, we gotta
It's not
love good
that
old
big a deal.
gotta love good old shit boxes. I mean, they last
I
longer, even
Yeah,
if
they
parts of them
do.
break. That's the thing
Mine
with
has lasted a long time.
that's the thing with modern technology. It's like fitted with so much crap that you don't need. It's more prone to breaking down. Whereas with a car like, from like 20, 25 years ago, it's still working perfectly fine. Yeah, the heater might be broken, but you still got a working, functioning car.
Yeah, as long as you got some wheels, and I mean, I like my heating and AC, so I make sure that works. But
Hmm. Especially if
yeah, I
you have a
don't need
cold
all the
fit.
bells and whistles that come with new cars nowadays. The only thing I would want out of a new car, besides not going to the auto shop every 3 months, would be a backup camera. Like the amount of people that I know, like my mom is so guilty of this, that don't use their fucking backup camera that are in those new cars is astonishing. Yeah, if I had a backup camera, that would just be like the end all be all. Like I would never have to like turn my head around because I'd use it so
Hmm.
much. But my mom like never uses it. And then I had a guy very lightly, it was one of my coworkers, he very lightly tapped my car, but I know he has a backup camera. I'm like, dude, why are you not looking through that? I was directly behind him, and I was like, how did you tap my car by doing that? Luckily, there's no dent or anything, but I was just appalled. You didn't even look,
You know,
which
I'm
is crazy.
I'm totally the same with the backup camera. I don't have my
Hmm.
license yet, but I have done a fair bit of driving because I've been trying to work towards getting it.
Mm.
And I especially benefit from a backup camera because one of the things I've noticed that I do a lot, instead of looking back to my right, I always look back to my left, which gives you an even worse angle of like what's behind you because instead of like seeing right down the middle, you're like more to the left. And it's I think it's a habit thing. I
Mm.
try to look down the right and it's just it feels impossible.
It makes sense.
So,
I think I like depending on like what car you're driving. In my car, you can see a good bit if you face left. So I understand that.
mhm,
Like I'll do both. I'll like whip around. I'll do left, right, and then another
mhm.
left, and then I'll pull out. Like
you
that's what
know,
I usually do.
I always look left. I think it's a habit thing because I'm left eye dominant, so I'm not sure. But it's just it makes it so much harder than just using the camera. That's one thing I'm gonna struggle with when I do the test is having to like back around a corner. I bet I'm gonna fail that immediately.
They gotta back around a corner. Oh my gosh. My dude, oh my god. That's got to be another video, but I could talk about, my experience with driving for the past what 6 years or so.
Oof, yeah, like I
That'd
can
be a
only
fun video.
imagine. Quite literally.
It's yeah, there's a lot. How old are you, by the way?
I'm
I didn't
I'm
even
only
know.
19, man. I'm not very old.
Dang. I feel like I may have remembered that at some point, but once you said you don't even have your license, I'm like, wow, he's younger than I thought.
I mean, I did make
Um,
a video on my birthday about my birthday, so.
that's true. I remember watching that. I don't remember. Did you say you were turning 19?
Yeah, no, I said I turned 19. Yeah.
I just have bad memory then.
No,
That's
you're
my
good.
bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. Honestly, that's something I would forget. My memory is very bipolar. I either remember everything perfectly or completely forget it after about 30 minutes. So.
I'll remember the most random stuff.
Yeah,
Just
no,
like
that's the same with me too. It's
just
like
most random shit.
it's not even anything significant. It's just like completely random, and I have pitch perfect memory of it.
It happens all the time.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
another part of life.
Yeah,
is
that's another
is
part of life.
randomly remembering things that
Hmm.
might not matter at all.
Yeah, no, I think that's part of the reason why I have so many like early childhood memories. Like
Mm,
there's from what I can tell, at least from what I've talked to people about it, they like remember almost nothing before the age of like 10. I remember so
dang,
much. I don't know
dang, that's
why.
crazy. That's like scary.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I know, and it's always random stuff too. Like my
Mm,
earliest memory, I'm pretty sure it was from like age 1. I'm not gonna
wow.
get into the details because it's really wacky, but
Okay.
still, I remember it like pitched. I remember it perfectly for some reason.
That's that builds character. It's a character right there.
Yeah,
Makes for good stories too.
even if they're wacky memories.
Wacky stories, wacky memories.
Although I would attribute that to being a spastic, uncontrollable child for when I was younger. So,
That makes sense. It's like my brother.
all right.
All right.
Once again, what were we talking about?
Well, I think we both answered the question that I proposed. Does it
Yes,
say October 13th? Yeah, that was a while ago.
that was a while ago. Like I said, I mean, I totally have an excuse for not answering that almost 6 months ago. So,
It's all right though. We got to it in this video.
yeah, and I mean, I gave such a good answer. Such a good answer. We totally didn't just rant and talk about random stuff for most of it.
No,
No,
not at all.
no, not at all.
I like the ranting. Yeah, no, just I appreciate you bringing me onto the channel.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Having our collab.
Mhm.
I'll have, whenever my video goes up, I'll just, link your channel, maybe
Yep.
put the video in as well.
I
And
also will encourage you all to go subscribe to Colin. He makes what I think is better content than mine. So if you're looking for higher quality stuff, head over to CollinMeCrazy.
I think it's the eye of the beholder, kind of like whenever you talk about beauty, and I believe you have a fantastic channel here with your videos, and I at least enjoy them a lot. I love them. So keep
Heck
making them,
yeah.
buddy.
Thank you, man. Yeah. And I encourage you to do the same because I really like your videos as well.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Anyways, that's all for today's video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the collab, my first collab, woohoo. I'm looking to do more of these in the future, so if any fellow YouTubers, it doesn't have to be commentary YouTubers, if there's just anyone wants to collab at some point, hit me up either at thatkillergary@gmail.com or just leave a comment on this video. I'm definitely looking to collab with more people because this was a really fun video to make. And yeah, that's about it. See you guys. Oh, and as always, have a great day, because why not? Anyway, see you guys.